Okay, guys, chapter 22 of Amal Unbound. Any word on Roshara? Nabia asked Mumtaz as we worked together in the kitchen. They diced onions and tomatoes, piling them into a metal bowl. Bilal lingered by the counter. I stirred the chai pot for Nazreen Baji and her guest, who were on the main veranda. She's visiting her mother, Mumtaz replied. She left over 2 weeks ago. Roshana's not coming back, Bilal interrupted. He told her not to. What? Nabia's knife clattered to the counter. He fired her. Jawad Sahib said her work wasn't up to the standards. But she needed this job, Mumtaz said. She's the only one working in her family. Like he cared, Bilal said. It was hard to follow their gossip. I was counting down until the day I could put this place behind me and pretend it was just a bad dream. No matter how much the job paid, why would anyone choose to be here? A tap on my waist, Fatima held up a blue package of cookies. These are the ones she likes to serve guests, she told me. Can I help you with it? I set the cream plate with scalloped edges on the table. Fatima opened the bag, pulling out the square shortbread cookies. Have you ever tried the chocolate ones? She pointed to the pantry by the window. I haven't, I said. Are they good? Oh, the best. Her eyes lit up. She puts them out when her older sons visit because they love chocolate. They're a little expensive, so we can't eat too many, or they'll notice. But I can get you one if you want. Maybe another time, I smiled. But thanks for the tip. Fatima, go get more onions, Nabila interrupted us. Fatima set down another biscuit. Now, Nabila snapped. I picked up the last biscuit, pressing it with my finger until it snapped. Whoops, I said. It broke. Want it? Fatima grabbed both pieces from me, stuffing them in her mouth. I returned Nabila's glare with a smile and carried the tray outside. Pouring the chai into each cup, I served Nazreen Baji and her guest, and then stood in the back against the wall, as I always did during her visits. The conversations she had with her friends weren't much different from the sort my mother had with hers, except in addition to the usual gossip, they discussed potential brides for Jawad Sahib. Today the women were sifting through photos of possible matches. I felt sorry for any girl who would have to put up with a man like him. My mind wandered to the last book I had borrowed. I hoped I could find the time to return it sometime today and get a new one. I glanced at the clock. It was a little past noon. Rabia and Safa were likely dressing up their dolls or jumping rope in the courtyard right now. Omar and Seema were in school. My father would be tending to the farm. Was my mother better? Was Lubna laughing yet? The literacy center is coming along nicely, her guest said, tucking her photographs back in her purse. She wore a maroon shalwar kameez and matching lipstick. Yes, Nareen Bashi nodded. It should be open in another month. Everyone's talking about it. It's the first time the organization broke ground in Punjab. Adult literacy centers are the new things these days, Nazreen Baji said. My husband thinks his support of this one will help him win the election. Anyone sign up yet? No one, Nazreen sighed. Who turns down a free education? The woman shook her head. They enjoy being illiterate. Is that the problem, really? I thought of my classroom. 34 girls crammed two to a desk. I could still remember how the heat rose from the ground and pressed into our skin during the warmer months, and how we shivered under our chadors and sweaters when the temperature dropped. Even so, we went to school every single day that we could. Nazreen Baji knew better. She had to know better. She had to tell this woman she was wrong. But Nazreen Baji didn't say a word in protest. Instead, she asked me to bring them more tea. She looks like a good one, the visitor nodded to me. As I gathered their plates and cups onto the tray, you must tell me where you get them. I balanced the tray in my hands and walked to the kitchen. I tried to pretend I didn't care what the woman said, but I did. I doubted I would ever get used to being discussed like cattle at a market.